Want to add a little zing to your backyard burgers? Give this a try. Welcome to Rough Riders, I'm Jay Taylor. Today we're making smoked chorizo burgers. This is a great way to add a little bit of zing zest to your burgers by mixing in some of this chorizo sausage, and it just comes out really, really good. Now, for those of you who may not be familiar with it, chorizo is a traditional Mexican sausage. You can find it in your grocery store in both beef or pork varieties. And now I do recommend that you read the ingredients, because some of the lower cost chorizo is made with animal byproducts, some of the glands and things like that that I would just never put in my food. So do read those ingredients carefully. You can get just the meat with the spices in it, and it's well worth the extra cost. Now, what I've got here in the bowl, I'm just making a couple of burger patties. I got about 8 ounces of ground beef in my bowl here, and then I'm going to mix in about 2.5 ounces of this chorizo sausage. I've also got an egg here on the counter. I use the egg because that helps bind the meat together when I start mixing it up. And so we're going to mix all of this together. I'm also going to add a little bit of rub, barbecue rub, into this. For this particular time, I'm using something from Rectech called heifer dust. This also adds a little bit of flavor and spice to it, a little bit of kick, which again makes it really, really good. So this is really easy to make. You just kind of mix in your chorizo sausage. I'm using pork because that's just what I have on hand. You can do this with beef chorizo and stuff as well. And we're just gonna mix all that up. And then we're going to mix in some of the spice once we get all the egg and chorizo mixed up really well. So with the chorizo sausage and the ground beef mixed together really well, now I'm going to add just a little bit of spice to this, and then mix that in as well. Now, I've done this with a number of different types of rubs and spices. I've used a sweet rub. I've used some Kinder's. Kinder's makes a really nice buttery steak rub as well that I've mixed in, and that does a really good job as well. So it's really just kind of what kind of flavor profile you're looking for at the end. This has a nice little kick to it, so it blends really well with that chorizo. Now, since I'm using about 8 ounces of meat, I'm going to just make a couple of quarter-pound burgers. So I'm going to pull up my little burger maker here, my patty maker. And then I'm going to just take about half of this and make one patty, and then I'll take the other half to make the other patty. Looks pretty good. And now we're going to take the patties out onto the smoker. So let's go do that right now. So we're going to smoke these for about an hour. We're going to put the burgers on here. I've got the smoker set up for about 180 degrees, which is the lowest setting that you can go for the smoke. And so we're just going to put the burgers on there. Now we'll let those smoke for about an hour, as I said, and then we'll come back and we're going to finish them off on the Blackstone. So while we're waiting for the burgers to smoke, I'm going to go ahead and cook up some bacon here on the Blackstone so we can top the burgers with the bacon. So now that they're done smoking, we're going to move them over here to the Blackstone. I've been preheating the Blackstone, getting it really, really hot so that we can sear the burgers about a minute or so on each side. We're also going to go ahead and top them with a little pepper jack cheese. That's obviously personal preference. Top them as you see fit. But I always like a little pepper jack cheese and the zing it gives as well. Those are going to be good. So there you go. That's all there is to making one of these chorizo burgers. I used, again, 8 ounces of meat to 2.5 ounces of chorizo sausage. You can adjust that either way. If you want more chorizo flavor, add more chorizo, obviously. And if you want a little less, dial it back a little bit. This is a great way to add a little zest to your backyard barbecue, add a little bit more flavor from the traditional backyard burger. Top it off with whatever condiments and toppings you like. I'm doing bacon and tomato and then a little bit of ketchup and mayonnaise. Obviously season it and top it off the way you like. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Your interaction with the videos is what really helps all of us YouTube creators. And I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time here on Rough Riders. Thanks again.